Hi, this is Faith. Welcome to the Faith Washington Show. I invite you to join me every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. We will discuss life, business, leadership, family, and fun, and what happens when your view of the world expands. A wide variety of guests will provide insight on how they do business, family, and leadership in their lives. So now, here's today's show. Good evening, and welcome to the Faith Washington Show. This is our premiere show, and with me tonight is Rachel Eid, a friend of mine, and she is an amazing mom-trepreneur. She has run several businesses. Her current business right now is in regarding essential oils, Young Living essential oils, and we're just going to talk through this period of time and learn more about Rachel and her business and her family. So, Rachel, how are you this evening?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Super
coming.
Super excited to be here and spend this time with you and open up your show. I think that's so incredible. So congratulations. I think that's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's very fun. For those of you that don't know, I spent my life as a pharmacist and a VP of pharmacy operations. And currently I am a life and business coach and also a radio producer, Facebook producer. So we are here tonight to talk about Rachel's business and her family. And there's some things that I would really like for Rachel to bring out, and the floor is yours.
Awesome. Cool. So a little bit about me. I am married. We have 4 children, 1 on the way. When I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, London, who is now 7, I was a working mom. My husband and I realized shortly after that it would benefit our family for me to become a stay-at-home mom. And so while that is amazing and I love that opportunity to this day to be home with my children, there's just something about working that fuels me, that fills me up, and I just have to do something. I love people. I love sharing my experiences, good and bad. So a few things fell pretty naturally. After my son was born, we decided, who is now 4, we decided collectively that the timing would be right for us to open a brick and mortar coffee shop.
That's exciting.
So coffee runs through me like most moms, and it was something that I had a huge connection to with my family. So we decided to plant what is the first third wave coffee house here in Boca Raton. It's called The Seed, and it is still a flourishing coffee shop here in central downtown Boca. And at the same time, my husband and I started to walk a journey towards adoption. That's also something that we have a huge heart for.
Yes.
So that journey began, and we weren't really sure of the timeline. And shortly after the coffee shop opened, we were matched, which is a formal agreement in the adoption world to adopt twins.
That's a lot at one time with 2 children that you had already. So what was going through your mind? What did you and Mike feel when that news was given to you? Were you excited, scared?
So I'll briefly share this story because I know we don't have a lot of time, but it is a fun story. In my heart, I always knew that I would love twins. I felt like twins was a dream come true. So when our adoption consultant sent over an email and said, hey, there's a birth mother who is due with twins, would you like to present? I briefly shared that with my husband, and he kind of looked at the bottom line and said, I don't know, coffee shop, 2 kids, twins. Now it feels a little bit like it could be too much. So I said, okay. and kind of went about my business. After a couple weeks, they had not matched that mother. She had not chosen any of the families that they presented her with. So they emailed and said those exact words, and would you consider presenting? So I did. And sent off our information and just let those cards fall where they may. Well, the cards fell right into our lap, and I got an email after about a week or so that said she had chosen us, and would we formally accept the match.
Wow.
That was huge, because then I had to go back to my husband and tell him that I had presented our family for the adoption of these twins. So at the time we were at the coffee shop, and I went and grabbed some Twinkies, double mint gum, and some random things from a 7-Eleven that made me think of twins. Brought him over to the coffee shop as he's working. We're in a house full of people and this business that we're relatively new to. And I said, twins. And I think they're ours, and I want them to be ours, and I hope that you feel the same way. And I don't cry often. Tears were streaming down my face, so he thought something was either terribly wrong or terribly right. And so he just looked at me and he was like, okay. Yes, we will say yes.
Awesome.
And we brought the twins home. Shortly after, I started to feel like my work at that coffee shop, opening it, bringing it to the community, connecting, and building what we thought was our ideal business place for the city. We entered an agreement to sell to go be with our twins. And so that's what we did.
That is a story. So tell me a little bit about what you guys have done since then.
Yeah.
That has to do with adoption.
For sure.
I think this is really important for our audience to hear, and because there is access. This is kind of what this is about.
So almost instantly, within a month of going back to being a stay-at-home mom, I said, I have to work again. I just have to do something. There's too much in me. There's so much I have to still share. And it turns out it was twofold, really. One, our story of adoption and how to get that information to people, how to make those connections. So we started working on a website, which I'll share. And two, how I was doing life with 4 children, because people constantly ask me, how do you manage that? How do you survive that? What does your day look like, really? And I kind of joked that it was fueled by coffee and essential oils, but it was 100% true. That was how I was living my whole day. That's how I was dealing with sleeplessness, tantrums, teething, sadness, every emotion, every ailment. I was dealing with it using essential oils. And I had been talking about it with people who would ask me, but I had never really been outright with it. And I thought, wow, this is something that so many people really want to learn.
And need.
And they don't know where to go.
Right. I agree with that. I agree.
You cannot trust a retail store shelf with the power of essential oils. Not only are they not pure, are they not safe to pick up and try to use on your own, but you just have questions, especially when you're using them around your children, in your home, and to replace some of the toxic things that you have just used out of convenience or because you've been told that was okay.
Right. Things you put on your body,
Yes.
wash your hair with, that you use as products to prevent colds and flu. There are just so
Exactly.
many things that these products can be used for to replace, and they're natural. I want to back up just a second. Give me the website address so that people can go there for the adoption
Sure.
program that you guys have begun?
So we just launched last month was National Adoption Month. So we chose to launch adoptinghands.com, and it is a social media platform for anybody in the foster care or adoption community on any end. Birth moms, adoptees, service men and women, attorneys, home study agencies, and parents, anybody. So we have several amazing contributors right now. Our personal adoption consultant and her firm, they've agreed, as well as our home study agency, several attorneys that we've worked with, and we have recently connected with some amazing women who are not only birth moms, but had been placed for adoption. And so it's coming full circle, and we're really, really excited to make that information accessible to help people who don't even know where to begin, but know that is how their family will grow. Families who are struggling with infertility or who cannot get pregnant conventionally, oftentimes they look at adoption as the way that their family will grow. So we have created this entire social network for that, and it includes an opportunity for people to do fundraising, and we will be eventually offering grants through the site, sponsorships, and all proceeds will be going back to families of our own community that we can help fund their adoptions.
So this is basically a one-stop shop to click into the site and find whatever it is that you need. So give us that website again, Rachel.
It is adoptinghands.com, and you can go directly there, create a profile, start to browse. We also have a Facebook and an Instagram that you can connect with and link to us there. So we're really excited. It's new, and we're looking for feedback on how we can make this an easier one stop for people who are entering foster care or adoption as a form of creating a family.
Right. And it's been so difficult in the past. I mean, I've known people and had friends that looked to this venue, as you said, to start a family, and there's not enough information out there, and it wasn't always accurate, and sometimes things took years. And it sounds like, to me, what you guys have created is a jump start to this process to really, really help families connect with the right people.
Absolutely. I think if I had to say the top 3 questions that we were getting in the beginning about it, which really propelled us to make this site a reality, where do I start? How much does this cost? How can I afford this? Where am I going to get the funds or the assistance? And also, how long is this going to take? And what people think, and international and domestic adoption have different timelines, but people think, when they're going on it their own and they're trying to connect with the birth mom, it will take months or years, and it may, but if you have the connections and the resources, you can be matched, and you can have a baby in your home in a year, in 6 months, next week. So,
Tremendous. That's the bonus, is the connection. So adoptinghands.com. Please, if you're considering, go to this website and let Rachel and Mike help you, because this is a really incredible opportunity. And I really appreciate that. Thank you to you and Mike both. And thank you for being amazing and adopting these babies and giving them an incredible home. Because I know with you as a mom and him as a dad, they've got it made.
Thanks.
It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
So tell us, you brought this beautiful package of your Young Living essential oils, and I'm so excited to hear about it and share it with our viewers.
Cool. So I think for the last 3 years, I've been using Young Living essential oils exclusively. And people are like, aren't all essential oils created equally? Or is this just a fad? This is so trendy. You're a hippie. You're such a crunchy mom. All this kind of stuff. So I don't think that people are getting all the information. That's what keeps them away from essential oils. So Young Living is a company that offers an amazing variety of products. We're talking about hundreds of different oils, single oils, blends, supplements, and these are plant-based. They own their farms, so they have what's called the seed to seal promise. And that means the products are only touched by Young Living from the time they are planted until the time they are bottled. And the quality assurance, we just had this big release today. One of the oils has been out of stock for a year. Wow. And a huge thing that I tell my team, and when I talk about my team, it's a community of men and women that I help every single day on Facebook, and I'm sharing tips and tricks. We had an oil that was out of stock for a year. And people get frustrated. Why can't I just get my hands on this oil? I love it so much. Well, these are plants. They
grow. They have to grow.
They have to be harvested down to the right hour sometimes. Mm-hmm. They're very, very sensitive. And one of the components of this oil is blue tansy. And the harvest is very short.
Excuse me.
And last year, the harvest failed the Young Living standards. So while other brands may put out that oil, and they will, Young Living refused what would have made them millions of dollars in sales. They refused that component, so we were out of stock for a year.
Because of their standards of practice.
Yes.
That's the difference with the Young Living oils compared to many of the other companies out there that are doing something similar. And that is that standard of quality and care that they use to create their products. And for me, when I started using the oils, that's what I looked at. As a pharmacist and a biochemist, I wanted to know, okay, where are they coming from? If they've got pesticides and all sorts of junk on them, then that's not really something that I want to put on my skin, because I know how potent it is, and it does get down into the deeper layers of the dermis. So,
yeah. When I took a trip to the Young Living Farm in Utah, they have a lavender field there. And you can see these plants are cultivated. They start in a greenhouse, and these are human hands. We're not talking about machines and robots that are caring for these.
Right.
These
people.
are people who are weeding. These are people who are planting. These are people who are harvesting and distilling and bottling. And that part of the process is very personal to me, to what I'm putting in or around my children, my family, and sharing with my friends.
Right.
I want them to know that I stand behind it 100% as if I grew it myself, which I could never do because I've tried to grow lavender and I kill it every time.
yeah, I'm not a plant person. No, I don't do well with plants.
I don't get it, but I kill it every time. So what I brought was what we call our premium starter kit. And basically what Young Living has done is they've taken their most popular, some of the most commonly used oils, and they've curated this starter kit. So people can get these oils into their home, something that they will need, want, or be able to use every day. And it looks like this.
See this? Yeah. Okay.
It comes with a diffuser, an ultrasonic diffuser,
see
which I did not bring, and I'm
It's got the
a little sad about that.
each little row of vials here.
Some samples here. In each of these bottles, it's a 5 milliliter bottle, so that's about 85 drops per bottle. And with this kit, you're able to do things from boosting your immunity, relieving stress, dealing with cuts, scrapes, bruises, bug bites, bug repellent. I mean, it's really endless. And right now we're entering cold and flu season. And what my personal, granted, we live in Florida and it's sunny. To me, cold and flu season is when you are indoors, you're in recirculated air.
Or on a plane.
Ugh, I
On a
can't.
plane. Yeah, I know.
Traveling, germs are traveling. I just posted something on my Instagram the other day about a cough having 200 virus particles traveling at the speed of a bullet train. And you're at an office or on an airplane or, visiting with family, strangers, whoever, and this is what is around you.
Right. You're going to get hit.
Right.
And there's ways to prevent.
Every single day.
That's what we want to see what do you use to prevent cold and flu?
You can be
What's in your
doing
house?
things every single day to prevent these germs from attacking your body, or if they do, when they do, that's real life, to quickly aid your body to heal. So
give us that example.
just a few things that we use in our house. Thieves, it's a proprietary Young Living blend. And that is basically the powerhouse. That's probably one of the most popular oils. People will say, oh, I know Thieves. I definitely know. You'll immediately recognize that smell. It is a cinnamon, lemon, rosemary, eucalyptus blend.
Isn't that a similar combination? And this is going to be a little digression. The similar combination that they used, and they call it Thieves because during the days of the Black Plague in Europe, they literally used these essences to put on their hands when they were robbing bodies of their wallets, their watches, etc., and they never got sick. These were people that never got sick because they used this type of an oil blend.
That is exactly where the Thieves name came from. And people love that story, but it is true, and that just shows you that this is what the earth is giving you, and this is what was used before, and truly this is what Big Pharma has tried to replicate. They've taken what plants do and do very well, and they've tried to make money for themselves, and there's no need for that. It's here for you. It's grown, it is safe, it is non-toxic, and you can help yourself. You can help your friends, you can help your family, and you can know exactly what you are putting on around your body.
Right, exactly. That's the best part of it is it's pure.
Huge.
It's pure. You're not getting adulterated chemicals. You're not getting things that are going to be toxic to the body, to your nervous system, to your brain. And for our kids, I think they deserve that, considering all the things we've been reading, whether it's Monsanto and the cereals and the adulteration of the food. There's a lot going on here, and I think when we stay more natural, that creates a healthier environment. And there is a difference. There is a difference in our kids and their ability to think and to be who they're going to be when we're natural with them.
Absolutely. It's hard enough to get through the day sometimes with a healthy kid or a happy kid. Right. But on the days you're struggling with a kid who did not sleep, who is not feeling well, who is sad or stressed, kids get stressed.
Yes, they do.
And then they get sick.
And then we get sick.
Yes.
And then we get sick.
I can tell when somebody is going to get sick, or I can look back and say, oh, you were so stressed out about this, and now you're sick. And you can do things along the way to change the course of the way you're feeling and recover quicker.
Right.
So Thieves, number one, what we're using in our house, we're diffusing it. We also make, these are called rollers. Young Living makes a few, and I teach in my groups how to make these for yourself. You can make blends. They make blends for sleep, for pain, inflammation.
What's the one for sleep called? Because that's something that I know our listeners definitely could utilize. And what's that one called?
Tranquil. And it's a lavender, cedarwood, Roman chamomile blend.
And where would you place that?
So for my little ones, I put this along the base of their neck, feet, sometimes wrist. Sometimes I'll use it myself. And I consider it, a zookeeper has a trank gun. Mm-hmm. Moms have a Tranquil roller.
Tranquil roller.
There's a connection there. So Tranquil, Stress Away. It's exactly.
I love Stress Away.
What the name says. This makes a great teacher gift.
So tell me this:
Yeah.
Where can our listeners go right now to log on and go ahead and order either the, the whole kit or Tranquil, Stress Away, Thieves? Where can they go, Rachel?
You can go to valorandheart.com. You can connect with me there. You can also find me on Instagram at valorandheart. My email is hello@valorandheart. And I'm happy to answer questions, give some insight, welcome you to one of my online classes where I talk about all these things, Oils 101. And
you're coming back.
I'm coming back.
So Rachel has to come back. I hope everyone agrees. I just wanted to let you know, thank you so much for joining us tonight at the Faith Washington Show. Thank you, Rachel Eid, for being my lovely guest. And you can reach me, folks, at 561-702-3986. That's 561-702-3986. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night. You've been listening and watching The Faith Washington Show, where we have widened your view of the world. Our guests share their business, family, and fun life hacks to make your world better. Hope you've learned something to apply to your life and business. And join me every Wednesday night at 7 p.m.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. From simple sprains to highly complex surgeries, the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County has been serving the South Florida community for over 65 years with the finest orthopedic and pediatric care. Our physicians are each experts in their field, providing a complete spectrum of musculoskeletal care from prevention and diagnosis to treatment.